Joining me is the panel, former Labor Senator and Sky News host Graham Richardson and Graham Morris, former Chief of Staff to Prime Minister John Howard. Graham Morris, how does the Morrison government now strike a balance between overreacting and reacting fast before this gets out of hand? And, well, has it struck that balance?
Yeah, before that, this has got to be the first time in history, mate, that you've got two Grahams on a panel and two political nuts in a bowl.
Well, that's it. That's it for the panel. Can't get any better. Thank you.
Look, I actually think you go back, 12 months or so. This could have been Bill Shorten and his colleagues trying to run this. And I think Australia at the moment has been well served by the Prime Minister, by the Treasurer. And you need that team. That balance thing is really important. One is the health thing that you've been talking about. You've got to do that. But the overreaction on the economic side is really devastating. But to show you how confusing this is going to be in this period ahead, on Friday night, tomorrow night, in Canberra, I'm going to go and watch the Canberra Raiders rugby league team, first game of the season. I can't go on Saturday to Government House because the Governor-General has cancelled his open day. So we're going to have that period of uncertainty everywhere. And I think having a Scott Morrison, who seems to have learnt from bushfires and everything, at the helm, I think well, I hope it's what we need.
Well, that's an interesting point about Government House, and maybe that's in the overreaction phase, Graham Richardson, look, the other Graham just mentioned Bill Shorten and implicitly implied, I think, that thank God Bill Shorten's not leading it. Bill Shorten's interesting today. He came out very publicly and said we need to we need to take this a lot more seriously. We need to talk about distancing ourselves from people, at least the metre. We need to talk about all that, getting a bit tougher and maybe even more travel bans. He didn't quite go as far as the President, of course. What do you think, given that, we've got Tom Hanks coming in, he's got the virus. We have a person coming in from overseas, goes to Victoria's Golden Plains Music Festival, 12,000 people there. They've tested positive too. Do we need to be more tough?
Well, I think Morrison's got the response about right. I don't know how more tough he can be at the moment, other than to isolate us all, and I don't think that's going to work. I must be the target market. I'm not exactly young.
Oh, for heaven's sake, don't say that.
I do have a pre-existing condition, but it won't stop me going to lunch. It won't stop me enjoying myself. It won't stop me living. I think we've got to make sure we keep living through these things. If you just give up and say, right, I'll build this great big wall around my house and stay inside, I think it'd be a very sad thing. I just urge everyone to keep living. You've got to be cautious, yes, but don't give up. Don't think that you can isolate yourself and it'll all be okay. If we all do that, then this place won't be much fun, will it?
Gee, Richo, you make a really interesting point, but I wonder whether your wife shares that view that, did she say to you as you got into the taxi to go to Sky News, don't do it?
No, she didn't, but she wasn't real keen on me going to lunch today, I'd have to say. She does worry about it. I think women are going to worry about it. And so they should. But I'm just determined to keep going. I have to keep going. If I just sit at home, it's so easy to become a vegetable when you're in my condition, and I don't have cabbage written anywhere near me, and I won't have.
Graham, it's interesting though, because all this whole debate comes down to, in part, what price is human life worth? Because if we had totally shut our borders, no one here would be sick. But that price was too much, and so now 150 people in Australia have got the virus. Where is that balance?
Which Graham were you asking? Well, I'm sorry. It's confusing.
The other Graham. You're Richo, and Graham is Graham.
Oh, OK, fine. Right.
Well, look, I think we saw today that President Trump sort of shut the borders to Europe, and economically it killed the Americans. Now, this balance is really important. I think the important thing about this crisis as distinct from the Kevin Rudd one. I thought Kevin Rudd's first stimulus package was really good, and I think the coalition supported it. And
$10
this
billion
one,
worth, yeah.
yeah, but it was controlled. And then the second one was sort of pink bats and other things. You can imagine in Canberra sitting around a room, people saying, "Oh, what about pink bats?" And people will say, "Well, do you think enough women cricketers are going to buy them? Or, you know, how are we going to catch them and paint them pink?" This one is in the government's control. It's through the tax system. It's through the welfare system. So, you still have a few checks go to, some dead people, and you'll still have some mongrel business people who will put people off. But this one, I think, looks as if it might be well controlled, like the first part of the Kevin Rudd one was.
Yeah, and at least it's going to people who paid, in the business sense, they paid the taxes, so you're less jealous about the fact that they're getting it back.